Hi, fire signs. My name is Michelle Kelly. Welcome to This Is Your Sign. This is your September 2021 career and finance reading for all of the fire signs. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, welcome. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. When you go into subscriptions every Saturday, you will see that I posted a video. So I put videos out every Saturday. So fire signs, let's get into your career and finance reading for the month of September. The first one is not for you and it's upside down. The next one is soulmates. And the last one is by the book and it's upside down. So what this reading is telling me already is that the path that you have been following might not have been your vocation. What is your vocation? So your vocation is your soul's purpose. So a lot of times what happens, and my girlfriend explained this to me because even I didn't know it. So as I get this information, I'd love to pass it along to anybody who's ready to hear it. But part of a vocation, okay, so when you're younger, you have jobs. And then you have your career. And then eventually you move into your vocation, which is your soul's purpose. And how do you know what your soul's purpose is? So I went to this lady and paid like $450 to sit with her for an entire day for this to come out of it. And actually, you know, I was kind of pissed at first because I'm like, this wasn't worth the money. But over time, it has been worth the money because more is being revealed. I think part of our thing is when we're not ready to receive information, when we're not ready for it, we deny it. And that's part of the process. So what came out of my $450 day that I felt like, oh my God, that's it? I could have did that, but I couldn't have done that. I can't do it for myself. But one of the things was this question that I'm going to ask you. And behind me it says, create the things you wish existed. Does that, yeah, okay. I'm just making sure because I have that translated into what did you want or need that wasn't available to you or isn't available to you. And then that is your job to go and create that. So what wasn't available for you or isn't available for you that you needed, that you wished was available in your process of coming to wherever you are now. So this is a question, it is very deep and it cannot be answered, fire signs. It can't be answered in a day or in a week. And if it can, if you're ready, you can answer it right away. But a lot of times, this is such a deep question that it might not be able to be answered in a day or a week or a month or months or years. Sometimes it takes years to be able to even put this into words. So I'm going to share with you what I wanted and now what I'm doing as a result of that. So for me, I always wish somebody would tell me what was normal. Like, I'm like, what is normal? Would somebody just tell me what is normal? And not to compare myself to say like, God, I'm so messed up and why isn't this happening? But just to kind of give you guys, for somebody to tell me like, am I where I'm supposed to be? What is normal? And not to feel shitty about myself, but just to kind of gauge like, oh yeah, when you get here, I thought that too, or I was thinking that too, or I wondered that too. So part of my job on this earth now is to tell you guys what has been my normal. So to help all the other little Michelles out there who are wondering the same thing, like, am I doing this right? Am I on the right track? Where am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to do it? So my soul's purpose now is to go back and do that for everybody, because I wish that was available for me and it wasn't. So as my process is happening for me, it is my job to go back and to tell you guys how this process has evolved. So how does this lead into your reading? This is leading into your reading of your career and finance that you guys are shifting right now. And a lot of times we don't shift until you have to, until you've been rejected, until, you know, this is rejection is God's protection. When you were going in a direction and you thought, this is the right thing for me, it is the right thing for you. It's the right thing for you until it's not the right thing for you. And you get signs along the way. And what are these signs? These signs are, my boss is an asshole. Or if you guys worked at a place and they're like, we have an open door policy here. We want you to come to us and tell us what isn't right because we want to fix it. And then one day you realize, like, they don't really mean that. They don't want to know. And if I say what I really think, I'm probably not going to work here anymore. So you guys, if you're afraid of saying what you think because you're not going to work there anymore, part of your process is you're finding out that you're not going to work there anymore. But as soon as you start to realize this, your process is beginning, even if you're not ready for the next part, even if you're not ready to quit your job yet or ready to move forward to your next place. So usually what happens when you start realizing this, when the wheels start turning, when you start getting rejected, this is not a personal rejection against you. This, I heard this and I did this in another reading, offending your soul. What does offending your soul mean? Offending your soul means you start abandoning yourself in order to provide money. And this is usually because out of fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So a lot of times when you're scared to speak up and think, God, if I say or do this, I'm not going to work here anymore, your money situation is going to change. And that brings fear, because we live in a world that is all about money. Money is most people's higher power. And a lot of times money is your higher power until it's not. And it doesn't mean it's wrong, and it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, but it means part of your process is you're starting to get, you guys have been in between both worlds, because you're divine creatures. You're of God, you're of the divine, you're of spirit, and you're trying to get by in this world that is of fear and is of money. So combining the two together is part of your life's purpose and your soul's journey. So as this process is happening for you guys, you're finding your soulmate. So soulmate isn't always just about romantic love. A lot of times, and maybe this has been tied into your soulmate, maybe this has been tied into your romantic love, but it also can be tied into your people too. Like, it doesn't always have to be romantic love, but it can be. And a lot of times, maybe this is telling me is that your finances have been tied into your partner, the person that you're with. And if you keep doing this, it's going to break up your love life. It's going to break up your marriage. It's going to break up your relationship. A lot of times when that happens, it was going to break up anyway. Thinking we can control it, thinking we have power over that, it's not true. But as much as this is saying your soulmate, and that your career and finance maybe led you to your soulmate. Maybe it led you to your partner who you love and adore. That's great. And you know, things work out until they don't work out. But it also can be, soulmates can be like people that you just feel like you've known each other forever. Like they're your person, they're your people. So part of this journey is leading you to your people, to your soul tribe. And then the next one is by the book, and it's upside down. So it's almost like, I feel like as I'm looking at the card, like you were following the leader, and now you guys, you're playing small. And you're playing small. You guys are supposed to be the leaders. You are the leaders. And, you know, stepping into this, knowing this, you don't just wake up one day and be like, I'm a leader and I'm going to be a leader. Like, you have to follow the leader until you realize, like, I'm meant to lead. So what this spread is telling me is you guys are the leaders. You're meant to lead. And as you start to realize this, maybe this reading today is all about confirmation and affirmation that you guys are leaders. You're meant to lead. And maybe this has scared the shit out of you because you're like, I don't want this job. You guys, most of the leaders that are leaders, spiritual teachers, spiritual leaders, they didn't want the job either. And just because you don't want the job, that's okay. You still have the job. So you figure this out right on time, right when you're meant to. And I'm going to get more into this because you guys, following this spiritual path, it's scary as shit. It really is. And trusting that the money's going to show up and that your people are going to show up. And they do show up right when they're supposed to. Opening your heart and putting it on your sleeve is scary as shit. And it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong because you're scared or you don't know where to go or how it's supposed to go. So another thing that I did today, and I'm so excited to tell you guys, is I combined my decks, my Archangel Gabriel cards and my Life Purpose cards, and they are both divine oracle cards for your life purpose. But what came out today is birth. And it says new life, such as a baby, an idea, happy news, or an exciting project, blossoms within and around you. So you guys, this could mean the birth of a child, the birth of a grandchild. It could mean that. So if that is happening with you, in your family, congratulations, because the birth of anything, especially a child, is such a gift. But this doesn't always have to be about babies. You know, like a physical baby. This could be the birth of a new project, of a new idea. And actually, your angels are coming to you and telling you about this. So a lot of times, before you're ready to hear something, before you can actually hear it, it needs to be told to you over and over again. So a lot of times you get signs, and when you get the signs, okay, I'm going to give you some of the signs. Some of the signs could just be a feather, a song on the radio, somebody mentioning something to you, somebody else mentioning it to you, hearing a name when you're out in public, somebody telling you a book to read, seeing the clock, 111, 222, 333. These are all signs, and there's more of them, and you guys might get more signs that I'm not telling you right now, but a lot of times these are some of the signs: birds, animals, going out on hikes, nature. All of these things are signs from the divine that you are spiritually connected, you are divinely connected, that the divine sees you, hears you. You might start seeing images in your head. You might be doing meditations and people are coming to you, or you're being reminded of people. These are all signs from the divine. You cannot miss the signs. You will not miss the signs. They get bigger and more noticeable. So one of the stories I want to tell you guys is, like, there was this joke years ago about, there was a guy, he was about to drown, he was by the water, a boat comes by, he's like, I'm waiting for God to save me. Because the guy in the boat's like, come on in, I'll give you a ride. He's like, no, I'm waiting for God to see me. And then the water is rising. Finally, it's getting so high, a helicopter comes by and offers this guy a ride. And he's like, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. And then apparently he dies and he ends up, in heaven asking God, why didn't you save me? And he's like, I sent you a boat and a helicopter. And there have been many times where I'm like, did I miss the boat and the helicopter? But what I am here to tell you, and this is from God and not from me, you will not miss the boat. You cannot miss the helicopter. You will get a Disney cruise ship and you will get a 747. Your little boat will turn into a Disney cruise ship. You will get bigger and more noticeable, so you can't miss it, just so you know. So this birthing process has already started for you. A lot of times you cannot put it together yet. It's through hindsight that you put it together, but it says share your art with the world. This girl is painting out in nature. There's a waterfall. It's time to allow others to enjoy your creative work. So you guys, you are artists, you are painters, you are creative. Whatever is your gift, a lot of times we were told from our parents, from other people, you'll never make money with that. You're not going to be able to support yourself with that. Go get a real job. Any job that pays you money is a real job, by the way. What is a real job in society's standards? Being a nurse, being a teacher, being a doctor, being a lawyer, they're considered real jobs. I don't know who we're trying to oppress. Because guess what? When you're doing things that aren't right for you, these real jobs eventually take your spirit, take your soul, and take your body. And you'll get sick, you'll have injuries, you'll have anxiety, you'll have depression. All of these things will come if you are not able to live through your spirit and your soul. So this is saying, you guys, you need to share your art with the world. The divine is letting me know this for you guys. And also, you know what your last card is? Infinite abundance. You are fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. There's butterflies all around her. There is an endless supply of fruit. She's so happy. The sun is behind her. Her wings are flying. So you guys, your infinite abundance does exist when you are able to share your art with the world. And you know what? Sharing your art with the world is really sharing you with the world. So coming into this process, it is a bumpy ride. It is not easy. It is not smooth and paved and wonderful and nothing goes wrong. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. I think a lot of times we think if the road is bumpy, that we must be doing something wrong. This is the divine letting you know you're not going to do it wrong. You can't do it wrong. You're being birthed into this process and it's hard. It's not easy. So just so you know, as this process is happening for you, you had to take the long way, but it's really not the long way. You're actually on the express train. It just feels like you're taking the long way, and it always feels like that. But what is actually happening is you are on the fastest track possible, but it just doesn't feel like that. So this one says, take a divinely guided chance. all positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to your new territories. As you leave that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So, you guys, this is saying as you leave behind what isn't working for you, you are making space. Now, if you are not able to take this divinely guided chance, if you aren't able to do it, it's okay. It will be done for you. A lot of times when we are scared to jump in to the deep water, because you don't know how deep it is, when you feel like you're not ready, it will be done for you. And so a lot of times, today is Friday, September 10th, 2021. So what is happening in the world, in the United States right now, is people are being forced that work for any government agency in the United States that they have to be fully vaccinated. So if this is something that you are not ready to do, you don't agree with, you're not ready to, you're going to lose your job. And a lot of times when you think, actually, you're not losing your job. The divine is gifting you another opportunity. It might feel like you're being forced, but a lot of times when you're not able to jump in and be forced, jump in and like just dive in or jump in, it will be done for you. So that might be part of your process. You have lost your job. You're losing your job because it is making you do things you're not ready to do yet. And you're starting to listen to your spirit. So as you're able to do that, things get done for you if you cannot do it for yourself. So just know that if that is your process, if that is happening for you right now, it is the divine pushing you to go towards your soul's purpose, to your vocation. So it's saying face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of the hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness. And you'll realize that in fact you have nothing to fear, that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. You guys, you have somebody holding your hand right here, and it looks like it could be your brother. So your brother is holding your hand as you are walking through this. If your brother is no longer on this earth, they're still with you. If you have a brother that's able to hold your hand, maybe you have a brother that really gets you or knows what's going on right now. You guys are holding each other's hands. You're not alone, and you have an angel behind you. Every single person has financial fears. I don't care who you are. Some people are better at pretending that they don't have them. A lot of times, our heart is connected to our wallet. And when that boat gets rocked, like, holy shit, if I really jump and take this leap, how am I going to be supported financially? Remember, I told you guys about making space. The divine is there to catch you. The support is going to be there. It might not look the way it looks. You might have to go against what everybody else is saying, to the point that you look crazy. I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy. You're brave. It's all in other people's perception, how they look at you. A lot of times you have to risk looking crazy. After you do this, because you guys are leaders, remember I told you you're leaders. So when you're a leader, you're meant to make the map. There's nobody else for you to follow. It's scary. as shit. After you do it, everybody's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. But they don't realize like you're holding your breath and you're scared to death. So you are facing your financial fears. A lot of times these fears are based on what other people think about you. I'm going to let you know right now, what other people think about you is none of your business. Most people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves and they are projecting that onto you. The reason why people do this, first of all, they don't know that they're doing this, but they actually think that they are helping you, and not helpful. Thank you, but no thank you. You might first have to give them a big Italian salute first. The next one says raise or promotion. Congratulations. An increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So you guys are getting a raise or a promotion from the divine. I know it's so scary to think, is this really going to be there for you? It is going to be there for you. The fear is much worse than the actual act, and the going down every worst case scenario first is normal and it's part of the process, but a lot of times it is not true. So this is your sign signing off, fire signs for the month of September. I am sending you lots of love as you enter into your vocation. It's your time. It's your time to shine and to lead. And you will do it exactly when you're supposed to. You can't miss it, and you're not going to mess it up. If you're still watching, thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week.